down. All right, let's do this. Ready? Monolith. All right, how's it going, everybody?
Wow.
Tonight I am
Wow. Just doesn't even give me a second.
What happened to the mirror?
They came out here and they were like,
100%. What is that noise? Little down. That was not a little. God. And now this way, tiny bit. Don't even can do it. That's good.
I almost was just like,
I know. Okay, you're already recording.
oh, he's gotta go to the.
To the BATHROM.
I couldn't spell it. It was like I forgot.
All right, you ready? Hello from the past. Such a dumb joke. All right.
Okay.
So we got the opportunity to see Monolith early. This was one I had not even heard of at all. And then a trailer was sent to me. And I was like, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Sign me up for sure. The trailer was very promising, very up my alley, very creepy and mysterious, and I was all about that. Now we got to see this quite a bit early, so this review won't come out for a little while. But we watched this quite a few days ago.
We did. And we're just getting to it.
Just getting to it.
Me.
Yep. Okay, so this is about a what is this about again? Because it's been so long. Okay.
Oh wow.
Wow. This is about a woman who is struggling to have a successful podcast.
Yes.
And she's trying to find the thing that's going to make her first episode of her new show a hit because she needs it. And she, she's got a few different things she's going with, but then she gets this call and it's about this black brick. And she becomes kind of obsessed with it.
She does.
Goes down a rabbit hole. Things get weird.
Yep.
Even though this wasn't a movie that was filmed, it might have been. I'll have to look into it, but I don't think so because this is like 2024 at this point. I can't imagine it, but this feels like a COVID movie.
It does.
Right? Because this is one character.
Yeah.
We never see anybody else, just her. And she's in her house alone. So now the main actress in this, I apologize for not knowing her name, but she is the main character of Evil Dead Rise. So that was cool to see her. It's been a few days now, and I keep trying to gauge what my reaction to this was. Like, I was definitely intrigued. I was definitely interested and always involved with the film and whatnot. I don't know if the payoff was everything that I wanted it to be. I definitely felt like it built to something, and the something that it built to was satisfying enough, and the build up to it was definitely always intriguing and kind of eerie. I never felt like it went over the line into like scary for me. It always just kind of felt tense. And so I don't know, like I liked it. I liked it, and I would like to watch it again. I'm going to be really curious on your thoughts because we did not, even though we've had so many days, we haven't discussed this at all. So I am super curious on where you land with this and everything, but it is very difficult to carry an entire film by yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so I think she does a very good job with that. So kudos to
Mm-hmm.
her. But there was something missing here for me to make this great.
Mm.
Overall, I did still like it. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't expect this. It's a much more subtle film that is definitely slower and it builds slower, and then the climax is kind of like not as like insane as you would think maybe it would build to.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I was super into it. I think that it has a really fantastic, tense atmosphere. I really loved a lot of the shots that, like you said, I think are more settled, but I thought that they were really effective in establishing like a kind of vibe, like
Yeah,
mindset
yeah,
to within the like for me, like as the viewer watching the film.
yeah,
So I really, really liked it, and I think that she did a fantastic job carrying it on her
yeah,
own. So like everything worked really well for me. I personally was very happy with the payoff. I think that everything building to what it did, it just worked really well for me. I'm very happy with the ending. I think it's a powerful ending, and I think it's very fitting for like the tone and the pacing of the film in general. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think that the concept in this is really cool. I was super into the concept, and of course, like we can't really talk about it because it does involve spoilers, but I think that that idea is kind of like the real highlight of the film, and I think that there's a lot to be said about like trauma, mental health, isolation, like self-image, all these different and like family and a lot of areas that I think are being um like
explore.
talked about and explored in the film with that concept. And I think that they did a great job at kind of looking at all those different things.
I also like that she wasn't like a squeaky clean protagonist.
Yes, she's definitely a very morally gray character.
Yeah,
Um, and I liked that too. I found that that made her like easier to relate to and just feel more dimensional. Um, but yeah, and I think that this the location too. I really liked the house that it's in. It's a
yeah,
cool house.
yeah.
And just like everything, like the coloring of the movie, I really liked all of that. It was very dark and like dreary, but in this really like introspective way.
Hmm.
No, but I was really into it. I think it was a really cool film, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So this is the kind of film for me um, that could go up on a second watch, just because this is the kind of film that can be hurt by expectations from the trailer. And I don't think that the trailer is mismarketing.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's just that I, and this is my own fault, I got a certain vibe from the trailer, and
Mm-mm.
I thought this was going to get more chaotic and was going to involve more stuff. Um, and because it is more of a refined, subtle film that's slower paced and doesn't really build to some massive climax or anything, I just I thought the film would be different, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my own fault, honestly. And so going back to it, knowing what it's gonna be, you know what this kind of reminds me of, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was a show Kaylee and I watched, and we did review it after we watched it. It was a TV show. It was on Apple TV, and it was called Calls.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see anything in that show. That show is all just like a voice line, and people, it's like weird calls going on. Very unique, interesting
Yeah.
concept. And that's kind of what this is, but with visuals.
Yeah.
Like if you were to take an episode of that, make it longer, and actually show us what was going on, that's what that felt like. It's because it plays out very much like what you love, and this is why I would expect you to like this film so much, is because this is 100% like an ARG.
Internet horror.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely has that where it's like there are things that are shown that you're like, wait, what was that? Like, wait, what does that mean? But it's very briefly, and it leaves a lot to like the viewer's imagination and like what they think is happening. And I'm super into all of that. I was gonna say that this is like, for me, because I did not like Skinamarink and I wanted to, this is like a better version of a Skinamarink
I
because
have
you
a
actually have things like visually going on more than Skinamarink
I
did.
have a better movie for you
Hmm.
that that film should have been in. That's Dear David. This is what Dear David should have been.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's this blogger guy who's telling a story, and his audience is hooked on this story and needs the next soundbite, the
Hmm.
next blog, the next episode, whatever, and it layers out the story, which is what Dear David was in reality, right? What the movie's based on was this story being told through tweets or
Yeah.
something like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, and that's kind of what this is. She drops like a new podcast that shows like the next, you know,
The
beat
next,
of the story,
yeah.
and people are like freaking out and need more, and she's pushing herself harder to go to, and she becomes obsessed with it. And there's some cool revelations. So overall, I am a fan.
Hmm.
I think that a second viewing might make me go, oh wow, yeah, this is way better on my second viewing. I could feel that, something like a Black Coat's Daughter, or
Mm.
a the what the hell's that movie called? The Dark and Wicked,
Oh yeah,
the
those
Dark
are
and
the
the
three
Wicked.
doors.
They have those tones to them where everything's just kind of like eerie,
Yeah,
atmospheric, and
very unsettling. So if you're a fan of like slower burn, subtle, dark tone movies,
that's built all around
that's
mystery
very, yeah, a lot of intrigue, a lot of
and not
question
having those questions answered.
from like most of the film. Yeah. I do think you get a nice amount of answers at the end, but I think that it's
Oh,
also
the answers are
it's
definitely up for interpretation.
yeah, I was gonna say that it's also the other reason I like the movie is that I think it has a really solid ambiguous ending
Yes.
where you could interpret it multiple different ways.
Yes.
And I love that and I think that they set that up very skillfully. So,
But that makes me think of like the interview that I did with Matt or that he did for with me. Actually,
uh-huh.
he was interviewing me, but he's somebody, and he represents a large swath of horror fans, where he said very, perfectly sums up his style of interest. Just tell me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Right.
fun. It's definitely not for everyone, but if you do like watching films and like trying to understand what's going on, um, this
Yeah.
is a good film for
If
you.
you're intrigued by slow burn mysteries with a lot of atmosphere and ambiguous endings
Yeah.
that give you enough threads to pull on
Mhm.
to get to an answer that might satisfy you, and then you can come up with other ones that might also satisfy you, then this is your kind of film.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who just likes it, you know, detailed right out, tells you exactly what's going on, gives you the exact answer in the end of exactly, then that you're gonna hate this.
Yeah.
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 So that's it. Um, yeah, we don't get to post this review for quite a little while.
Yeah.
That's all right. But I'm glad we got to see it early.
Me
And
too. Yeah.
we
That
definitely
was
always
awesome.
appreciate when we get these. We honestly don't get them much. We don't get them much.
Yeah, we always appreciate getting them.
Yeah.
So,
So definitely let us know if you watch it.
yes.
And that's it. All right, guys. Bye.